1400 WJZM Radio. Good morning. It's 63 degrees in downtown Clarksville. We'll take an extended look at our Clarksville area weather after this update in national news.
WJZM Radio, Clarksville, Tennessee.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Former Alabama Supreme Court Chief Justice Roy Moore celebrating victory in last night's GOP primary runoff election for U.S. Senate. The interim Senator Luther Strange offered his congratulations.
We're Republicans. We care very much about this country, care very much about this state, and we wish him the best going forward as he faces the next challenge.
Former Justice Moore set to face Democrat Doug Jones in a December 12th special election. House Republicans are meeting today to talk tax reform. Here's Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines.
Speaker Paul Ryan.
Our Republican leaders in the House, the Senate, and the White House, we've come together on this concrete framework for historic tax reform.
That includes plans to lower rates and simplify returns.
This is a top priority of ours.
Ryan calls it an historic opportunity.
Reform that we have not seen in this country since 1986.
House Republicans are spending most of this day away from the Capitol being briefed on the plans.
As Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines reporting. The U.S. federal government has dispatched large numbers of personnel to Puerto Rico to help with the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. Local officials have praised the response. The Mexican government, meanwhile, says more than 12,000 people whose homes were destroyed or damaged by the magnitude 7.1 earthquake have spent at least one night in a shelter since the September 19th event. And for some, frustration is growing. Some quake victims are still camped out on mattresses, not having had a proper shower in several days. Anna Maria Castaneda, who is living in a shelter with 5 relatives, says it's like a horror story for her and her family. On Wall Street yesterday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 12 points at 22,284. The NASDAQ was up 10. No change to report for the S&P 500. Oil prices gave up 34 pennies a barrel, ending the day at $51.88. This is SRN News.
Jackson's Body Shop, downtown. Jackson's Body Shop, downtown. It's your car, it's your voice. Jackson's Body Shop, the best choice. Dents, stings, major body repair. A pre-loaner car, cause we really care. Jackson's Body Shop, downtown. Jackson's Body Shop, downtown. Call 647-6989 or Jackson's.
The big 1400 WJZM Radio, Clarksville area weather. One more day of unseasonably warm temperatures, and then fall officially comes to Clarksville. High today of around 87, mostly sunny skies. Tonight, 62 for an overnight low. And for Thursday, mostly sunny, not quite as warm, maybe 79 for an expected high. Overnight low Thursday of 53. Currently, we're at 63 degrees in downtown Clarksville. With a look at Clarksville area traffic, here's John Michaels.
Good morning. Wednesday traffic looks fairly good around the city and the county this morning. Looks like 41A, Fort Campbell's slow in a couple of spots. 79 out in Woodlawn, slow in one area. 48 and 13, if you're coming into the city from the county, very slow, especially out by Montgomery Central. 41A out in Sango is slow. The MLK 76 connector looking pretty good right at the moment. Trenton Road, Tylertown Road, very busy. And also 79 out in St. Bethlehem, busy as well. Now, if you are headed to Nashville, 24 looks pretty good till you get almost into Cheatham County. You may run into a slowdown there, but doesn't look to be very bad. And if you are headed to Nashville, well, let's check in with Commander Chuck and see what's going on with the traffic in Nashville.
Good morning. Watching traffic build now out here pretty much on schedule down I-40, leaving Wilson County, coming through Mount Juliet into Hermitage. Traffic's on the increase now on 65 coming off Vietnam Vets. Checking a crash, Lebanon Pike at Briley Parkway in Donaldson. Appears to be a very minor wreck. ICU Security, they specialize in surveillance camera installation and service. Type in their website. It's easy. It's ICUSecurityInc.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
And that's been a look at your traffic and weather together and the latest national news here on the big 1400 WJZM. It is 7:05, and that means it's time for the Wednesday morning edition of Good morning, Clarksville, and good morning, Chuck Edwards.
Good morning, John Michaels. It is the Wednesday edition, the 27th day of September. Boy, we're almost done with September. Then we'll be into October. Daylight savings time. Yeah. Thank you for being here this morning with us here on Good Morning, Clarksville. Big 1400 WJZM radio, 63 degrees at 7:09. Chuck and John, so glad to have you with us. We're just ahead of a Sports Now update with Justin Swallows, 7:20. Brought to you by Fox's Barbecue on the Big 1400. Some birthdays. Avril Lavigne is 30. Levine. It's Avril Lavigne.
Yes.
33.
That's it.
Gwyneth Paltrow is 45.
Oh.
No, she's 40. She's not 92. She's 45.
84.
And weird. Very weird.
Strange.
Okay, Sean Cassidy. Remember him? David Cassidy's brother?
The little Sean Cassidy.
David Cassidy's bald-headed brother?
Yeah.
He's a TV producer.
He is.
He's behind the cameras. His shows include Cold Case, The Invasion, The Agency, and Ruby and the Rockets, The Wizard of Oz Reimagining, and Emerald City. Meatloaf.
Oh, now he's 92.
And Potatoes.
He's 71.
No, he's 70.
Well,
Yep.
close.
Dennis Lawson is 70.
Dennis Lawson. I should know that.
He's a phony. John Michaels is a phony. See, he talks about all this Star Wars stuff, but if he were really a Star Wars...
He was probably
No.
in the Phantom
See,
Menace.
there he is. See, he doesn't know. Dennis Lawson, Wedge Antilles. You're not familiar with Wedge?
He was
Yep.
in one of those fake
True
movies.
Star Wars fans know Wedge from all
Your mic's not working anymore. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm calling you. You talk about all these. I'm such a Star Wars fan. I'm such a, well, he doesn't know who Wedge Antilles is.
Who cares?
He was during.
Jedis.
Yeah, he's been in all of them, and but you're not
mic's
familiar
cutting
who.
out. Yeah.
You're not who.
Not at this time of the
Okay.
morning. I'm not.
Anyway, Dennis Lawson is 70. Randy Bachman.
Guess
Bachman
who?
Turner
BTO.
Overdrive, and guess who? Yep. How old is he?
He is 74.
Correct. Very good. You make up for yourself.
Okay.
You redeemed yourself, sort of. Still don't know who Wedge Antilles is. Here's a classic. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Wilford Brimley.
Oh, Mr. The Great Nuts Man, right?
I think he does oats.
Oatmeal.
Yeah.
Why is it playing music?
That's okay.
What? Isn't he the Quaker Oats?
Yeah, he was Quaker Oats. And you know what I always remember him in? The Firm and The Thing.
Yeah, he was in The Thing.
Yeah, he was.
That's true.
I like Wilford Brimley. Genuine Cowboy. What we got here.
No, he was not
I think
the
I
Great
know what
Nuts
we got
Man.
here.
Who was the Great Nuts Man?
Huh?
Who was the Great
He
Nuts
was Quaker Oats.
Quaker Oats, but
Yeah.
there was another guy that did Grape Nuts.
Oh, I'm not
I can't
sure.
remember who.
It was Wilford Wedge Antilles.
It was. That's where I remember him from. Yeah, your mic
8
may
days to
cut
World
out
Teachers
again.
Day, 34 days to Halloween. I think I'm gonna dress up and I'm gonna look like Martha Sitzler.
Oh, okay.
I think
You gonna dress up
it's
like
kind of
that?
popular.
Yeah.
They've got some costumes that look like Martha
Yeah.
Sitzler. Yeah. And then when we're driving the big mobile,
They'll think she's driving.
Yeah, they'll think she's driving. Yeah.
Look, there's two.
34
twins.
days until daylight saving times ends, and 79 days till the Star Wars: The Last Jedi movie
Yes.
comes out. So John will be able to tell us who Wedge Antilles is. At least you'll know by then,
I'm
right?
afraid I can't hear you right at the
Yeah.
moment.
Okay.
My
The Big 1400
headphones are not working.
WJZM Radio.
Walking down the street, and I start to cry each time we meet. Walk on by, walk on by. Make believe that you don't see the tears. Just let me grieve in private, 'cause each time I see you, I break down and cry. Walk on by, stop. Walk on by.
1400 WJZM Radio. We're holding at 63 degrees. Expect a high today of 87 as we get through this day. And then fall comes and we'll be in the 80s for a high. Right
gonna be nice.
Yeah, in some of the outlying areas, you could see some overnight low in the upper 40s. But, you know, okay, back in the day, 101 years ago in 1916, the first Native
My birthday.
No, the first Native American Day was celebrated to honor American Indians.
All right.
Yeah. 20 years ago in 1997, Bob Dylan met the Pope.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dylan, well, no, it wasn't. Dylan, he was handpicked by the Vatican to play at a Roman Catholic youth rally in Italy because of his... because of his...
The Pope's clapping.
No, you know... He has a, you know, Bob Dylan, you know, he has some strong, sincere religious beliefs. And then when he talked to the Pope, he was like, yeah, I mean, and he did share a few incomprehensible words with Pope John Paul II. But anyway, 12 years ago, the Atlanta Braves clinched their 14th straight division title.
And have been losing ever since. Oh.
And 6 years ago, in 2011, 85-year-old Tony Bennett became the oldest living person to top the charts in the U.S. with his album Duets 2 went to #1.
Yeah, that was a big album.
Yeah. Who was he with on that?
Him, me, myself, and I. It was
it
three
Lady
Tony
Gaga?
Bennett's. I think Lady Gaga was on
Yeah,
that one.
I think she
Lady
had
Gaga.
something to do with it. Hey, we got guests in the studio.
We do.
Because we got company
coming, y'all.
Martha Sitzler's here from the Hope Pregnancy Center. She's going to talk to us.
We hope.
1400 WJZM Radio, 63 degrees and 721. We're just ahead of a Sports Now update with Justin Swallows, brought to you by Fox's Barbecue. Well, today might be a good day to surprise your mom with some flowers because tragedy has struck. I know in my household, there was a gloom and doom in my household with the girls.
What happened?
Chip and Joanna are getting a divorce.
Oh, no.
No, they're not. Well, I don't know. I read it on the front of a magazine, and they told me to stop saying that. But they are canceling their show because they're getting a divorce. Oh, well, I don't know. No, they're not getting a divorce. But they have announced that their HGTV show, Fixer Upper, is coming to an end.
Because you're getting a divorce?
Don't say that. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble. They're not getting a divorce. Wink,
that's
wink.
what it was.
They're not getting a divorce. Wink, wink. You know how, hey,
got
Martha,
a girlfriend.
Good morning. Martha Sitzler's with us from the Hope Pregnancy Center. You know how when you're standing in line at the store and you're looking at all those magazine covers and, and they got aliens kidnapped me and now I'm pregnant with their child or, all these different things. He cheated. She cheated. We all cheated. And anyway, they had this thing about Chip and Joanna, and so I go home and I'm talking about, man, I was exiled. I was put in ISS, for a week because I said something about Chip and Joanna. But anyway, they're going to believe that the Aftershocks, it starts in November and it'll air in 2018, their fifth season. Do you watch HGTV?
A little bit.
Yeah. Their fifth season will be their last. The Aftershocks are being felt by middle-aged women everywhere and a lot of people because they're very popular. There have been rumors
they're getting a divorce
and controversies surrounding Chip and Joanna. They're getting a divorce. Most recently, some former business partners sued Chip, accusing him of fraud, but they insist that ending the show was their call because they're getting a divorce.
That's right. Chip's got a girlfriend. Did you? I saw it on the magazine.
Chip's got a girlfriend.
That's right.
And then Joanna's got a girlfriend.
Yeah, she
they all
does.
got girlfriends.
She's gonna marry her husband.
Anyway, they had a quote. It said, "We'd be foolish to think that we can go and fire on all cylinders and never stop to pause. This is just us recognizing that we need to catch our breath for a moment. Our plan is to take this time, give lots of love and attention to both our family and our businesses, and try to restore our marriage." No, don't cry, John. Don't cry. They can go to therapy. No, they're not getting a divorce. John. No, Chip and Joanna are not getting a divorce.
They're not.
They're canceling. they're not going to do their show anymore.
Canceling the show.
But they still got their furniture. They have a furniture line, I think. So that's coming. They'll
split it 50-50 when they get a divorce.
John.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Oh, okay.
Chip and Joanna Gaines are not getting a divorce. They're gonna.
The National Enquirer said they were.
They're just gonna take some time, devote it to family, and
who gets what kids and who gets what of the furniture. And,
See, I can't do it. Yeah, and I don't know what to do with him. Anyway, we need to take a break. It's time now for a Sports Now update with Justin Swallows. Brought to you by Fox's Barbecue on the Big 1400.
This Sports Now update is presented by Fox's Barbecue. They're serving slow-smoked premium meats at 521 Heritage Point Drive.
Vanderbilt head football coach Derek Mason is determined to use the Commodores' latest 59-0 loss to number 1 Alabama as a wake-up call for his team. Mason held a rare full-contact practice on Monday, and when asked why yesterday, he explained that his team, especially the offensive line, is at this point too soft. Mason blames Vandy's recent run game struggles, specifically on that offensive front. Was Vanderbilt's 3-0 start a product of weak scheduling? We'll find out this coming Saturday as the Doors travel to Gainesville to take on the 20th-ranked Florida Gators. Now over to Austin Peay State University, where coming off a 2-0 start in Ohio Valley Conference play, their women's soccer program has added reason to celebrate today. Yesterday afternoon, Governor Soccer's senior forward Kristen Robertson was honored as part of the league's Player of the Week package. The Ashland City native was named the OVC's Offensive Player of the Week after a game-winning goal versus SI SIUE and an insurance score against Eastern Illinois this past weekend. This coming weekend, the Govs will be on the road to continue conference play Friday at Jacksonville State and Sunday afternoon at Tennessee Tech. Lastly, today we will take you to Knoxville as the UT football program has announced their uniform of choice for this weekend's battle against the Georgia Bulldogs. The Vols will don their alternate smoky gray uniforms on Saturday, in addition to encouraging fans to wear either orange or white in an effort to checker Neyland Stadium. Tennessee won their last home game against Georgia wearing that smoky gray, and they were 2-0 in it last season, besting Florida at home and taking down Nebraska in the Music City Bowl. From the WJZM Sports Desk, this is Sports Now, and I'm Justin Swallows.
Voted the #1 veteran-owned barbecue restaurant in America, Fox's Barbecue is proud to serve the greater Clarksville community. They host the weekly Blues and Barbecue concert every Saturday night from 5 to 7 p.m. Whether you're hungry for chicken, ribs, pulled pork, or brisket, Fox's Barbecue is the right choice. They offer all-you-can-eat selections every Wednesday and Thursday night, as well as catering and delivery. Call them to cater your next event at 931-896-2678. Or better yet, go see them at 521 Heritage Point Drive, just off from Tiny Town Road.
Sports Now update on the Big 1400 each day, brought to you by Fox's Barbecue. Of course, at 8:20 it comes your way with Justin Swallows, brought to you by Mr. Appliance on the Big 1400. And then at 9:20, Fox's Culver's. Sports Now update with Justin, brought to you by Culver's of Clarksville. And then in the afternoon, 3:20 and 6:20, brought to you by Coffee Break and Cheesecake and Power and Grace Preparatory Academy on the Big 1400. So you get sports all day long.
That's right.
You know, and we're so glad that Martha Sitzler from the Hope Pregnancy Center is joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good
again.
morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. You're looking good. Nice shirt.
Thanks.
Isn't that a nice shirt?
It
John?
is.
It's a nice shirt.
I have some for you. I just forgot to bring them.
Okay. I don't know if do you have them big enough?
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
So, what's been going on? We know we're getting ready for the Walk for Life.
Yeah.
So before we start talking about that, bring us up to speed on, did you finally drive the truck?
I've been
the van.
driving the bus.
Yeah, I read your letter. and it said that you didn't think you never say never. You learn again. Never say never.
I thought I wasn't going to drive that thing. It's like 36 feet long, but once you start, it's addicting. It's so much fun.
So you be wheeling and dealing. You haven't blown the horn yet. You said.
No, I haven't blown the horn, and I haven't hit anybody.
Well, 1 out of 2 of those, I think that's good. That's good. Anyway, this y'all have been getting ready for the Walk for Life, which is one of your fundraisers.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, the Walk for Life is this Saturday. We go for a walk. It's very exciting. Actually, it's at Liberty Park, and we walk the Riverside Trail. So it's a paved trail. It's not an athletic event. I know that disappoints some people, especially on a sports station. But we go out and we walk a little under 2 miles, and we raise money for Hope Pregnancy Center. And this year, our theme is Life Worth Defending.
Life worth defending.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested, you can call, I think, 645-2273.
That's correct.
That's the number to find out how you can be a part of it. They're taking registrations through Friday for the Walk for Life. Tell us about, your fundraisers. You have a number of events, but you have the Walk for Life. You have the Purity Ball.
Yeah, which the Purity Ball and the Character Ball, the Mother-Son Character Ball, they're not really fundraisers. They're more events that we offer for the community.
Are there any lies on Good Morning Clarksville?
Okay, Chip's getting a divorce.
Oh, no.
He's going with Chip and Joanna. John, don't say that,
Okay, but it's true.
I started
Sorry.
The Hope Pregnancy Center, you all do a lot more, and you all have a lot more. If people have never visited your facility, there's a lot more going on. Y'all have a closet there.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, there is a lot more going on. A lot of times people drive by and they see our sign and it says free pregnancy tests, and they think that's all that we do.
That's all, yeah.
And that is, we provide that service to most of the clients that walk through the door. But we also have ongoing support services with prenatal classes and parenting classes and mentoring. And then you mentioned the closet. We call it Josephine's Closet, and that's a way that we provide baby clothes and supplies for women and couples that just have a need for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it's free.
Yeah, it's all free.
Yeah. So that's why the fundraisers, my friend.
Yes.
That's why the fundraisers.
Yeah, we don't charge for any of our services, so it's all free to our clients. And I have a good friend that always used to say, "Free just means someone else paid," and that really is true. You know,
Right.
we spend a lot of time, we do a lot of work resourcing those things so that our clients don't have to worry about the cost, and that's where these fundraisers come in.
Where do you keep the bus parked? Because it's not parked on 2nd Street, not in front of your building.
No, it's parked at the business of one of our board members. It's over off of Craft Street.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. So anyway, we're looking for it starts at 8:30. What time is it?
Registration starts at 8:30. So
This Saturday.
This Saturday, bright and early. It's going to be beautiful on Saturday. It's going to be in the low 70s.
Nice, yeah.
It's a nice day for
No
a walk.
mention of any rain.
No.
Anything. So you can register to be a part of the Walk for Life, Life Worth Defending, which is the theme this year with the Hope Pregnancy Center.
Yeah.
And you can be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. People can go to our website to register. It's hopepregnancy.net, and then you click on Get Involved and look for the walk slide. You'll see it as soon as it pops up. And you can sign up. You can create a little website. It is not too late to do that and ask your friends and family to sponsor you. It is a fundraiser. If you come and make a donation, that's awesome. We're happy to have you. But if you invite a few friends to support you as well, that's even better.
Yeah, you know, you can get your cousin or your uncle or next door neighbors. Give $10, $15, whatever.
20,
the
100,
sponsor. Yeah. You could probably get Chip and Joanne to donate something, John.
We might be
if the
able to
lawyer
get
doesn't
Chuck
get it
and
all.
John to give something.
Chuck and John, yeah, Chuck and John, yeah. Anyway, but we're talking with Martha Sitzler. She is with the Hope Pregnancy Center. Oh, and you get a free T-shirt.
Yeah.
When you're part of Life Worth Defending, and that will be for the registration. So 645-2273 if you want more information. So what else you got coming down the pike?
We have our Mother-Son Character Ball coming up in November, which is super fun.
That's relatively new.
It is. This is the 5th year. And it's if people are familiar with the Father-Daughter Ball, it's just like that, only it's mothers and sons. And it's a little more fun. Like, it's not as frou-frou-y. We have a photo booth and we have props and we do all kinds of fun things at the Mother-Son Character Ball. So it's just a great night for mom and son to go out, and a lot of families use it to sort of teach their young men how to treat a young lady, and it's just a great time for building that important relationship.
One of the things that we were talking about, all the things that the Hope Pregnancy Center does, the classes that you have are taught by, qualified teachers, instructors. Tell us about that.
The one that we have most frequently is our prenatal education class, and it's taught by a wonderful lady from UT Extension office with the Food and Nutrition Education Program. And she comes in and she teaches all kinds of things. They cook, they do little recipes, they learn about nutrition. There's a car seat safety session. There's just some basic, early infant care and nutrition information that's shared. And then at the end of it, there's a baby shower for all of the participants and a group. Yeah,
how neat.
It is, yeah.
The Martha Sitzler's here with the Hope Pregnancy Center. What is wrong with my tongue this morning? Martha, besides the classes, tell us about some of the clients that come to visit. Why do they come to the Hope Pregnancy Center?
That's a great question. We have people that come to us for a lot of different reasons, from they've had a pregnancy test and they want it to be confirmed by a medical professional, to the person who thinks she might be pregnant and just isn't sure. Sometimes they come and they're happy to be pregnant. Sometimes they come and they're not, and they're wondering what their options are. So it's a whole spectrum of people. There's no financial requirement or anything. We're just there for anybody. And the variety of clients that come in is pretty broad. And sometimes people think they have that situation that, nobody's ever heard before, but we're okay with that.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know. How do you address the pregnancy situation with the male part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, we think about the Hope Pregnancy Center and we think about the female, but, you know, you told me about couples that come in there, young men that come in there, sometimes alone. And they have questions too, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it seems kind of silly to say it, but every woman who comes in there for a pregnancy question, we know there's a man involved. And
you think?
Yeah.
You sure?
We're pretty
It wasn't
sure.
Chip, was it?
No.
You know, because was it Chip, John?
Stop.
Yeah, it was.
They're getting a divorce.
I saw it.
Oh, see, now she's saying it. Now she's saying
it really is true.
That's how rumors work.
Yeah,
It's
no.
terrible.
Now you're going to take it back to the office and you're going
know.
to, did you know Chip and Joanna?
No.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, yes, about 40% of the clients that come in, their partner is with them at some point in the process, either in that first visit or when they come for an ultrasound or when they come for a class. So we do. We address that, and we involve them in the process as much as possible.
And that's a good thing because as you said, it does take two, and involving them in the decision making. Sometimes maybe they're absent and they're not involved, but when they're given the opportunity to be involved, you know, they have something to say.
Yeah, we love that.
Martha Sitzler is our guest. She's with the Hope Pregnancy Center. We're talking about their Walk for Life this Saturday. 645-2273 is the number you can call if you'd like to get involved and be a part of this great life worth defending. We need to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Services, Byers and Harvey can do it all. Real estate sales, rentals, property management, commercial and residential development. Byers and Harvey is Clarksville's oldest independent real estate company and has given continuous service since 1878. Byers and Harvey have 3 locations to serve you: in North Clarksville, in the heart of downtown, and at Sango. For more information and listings, visit them online at byersandharvey.com. byersandharvey.com. Byers and Harvey, Clarksville's real estate company.
With the Christ Center curriculum and a high expectation for academic mastery, Power and Grace Preparatory Academy has set the gold standard for elementary learning. Certified by the Tennessee Department of Education, they've extended their offerings to include music, art, and Spanish. Additionally, students will be participating in STEAM Fridays, emphasizing science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Before and after care is available, spanning from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and enrollment is open for children in pre-K through the 3rd grade. For more info, visit powerandgraceacademy.com or call 931-320-9862.
Shopping for a car with past credit issues can seem impossible, but it doesn't have to be. Tommy's Quality Used Cars in Guthrie guarantees credit approval for anybody with a job and a down payment. And with over 100 units in stock at all times, the selection of high-end pre-owned vehicles at Tommy's is completely unmatched. It's the area's best pricing and no pressure sales experience and guaranteed credit approval at Tommy's Quality Used Cars, 424 State Street in Guthrie, and online at tommysusedcars.com.
The Big 1400 is WJZM, Clarksville, Fort Campbell, Hopkinsville.
Was your New Year's resolution to lose weight, but you haven't been able to accomplish this? Then come to the Doctor's Diet Program at 231 Dover Road. They're open Tuesdays and Saturdays from 11:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Doctor's supervised weight loss can be achieved by following the simple diet plan. Whether you want to lose 10 pounds or 100 pounds, the Doctor's Diet Program can help. Call them today at 931-906-5555. That's 931-906-5555.
Moore's Office Supply is Clarksville's office supply and furniture experts. For office equipment, desks, chairs, and more, depend on Moore's Office Supply. Located on Franklin Street across from the Catholic Church, Moore's has been your business partner for office supplies in the Clarksville, Fort Campbell area for years. Call Moore's at 645-7200. That's 645-7200. And we'll deliver it for free. Moore's Office Supplies, Clarksville's office supply headquarters.
The Big 1400, WJZM Radio, Chuck Edwards, John Michaels. It is a Wednesday on Good Morning Clarksville, and our good friend Martha Sitzler is here from the Hope Pregnancy Center, and we're talking about their fundraiser this Saturday. It is a Walk for Life. It is their theme this year is Life Worth Defending. And it is a fundraiser. And, you know, we talk about, Martha, we talk about the Hope Pregnancy Center, and you all need money to survive.
Yeah, it's true.
And oftentimes money can get tight.
Yeah.
Especially with nonprofits.
Yeah.
And so tell us where the money goes.
Well, sure. I'd be happy to. Some people would be squirming in this chair with a question like that, but I don't have a problem with that because every dollar that we raise legitimately goes to the work of the ministry. We do have.
Do you consider it a ministry?
Yeah, we do. We do because we're addressing not just physical needs, but we're considering the spiritual needs of the people that come to see us, and we're encouraging them in that way. And we really, that's our motivation. That's our heart.
You know, the cool thing about the Hope Pregnancy Center and the reason that we like it so much is because you don't stand in judgment.
Mm-mm.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a ministry.
Mm-hmm.
You consider yourself a Christian ministry.
Yeah, we do.
But that doesn't mean that you can say, no, we're not taking you because there is no judgment.
Right.
We see somebody who needs help.
Yeah.
And we're going to be there for them.
Absolutely. And we come with the full recognition that none of us is perfect. Every single
John
one of
is.
us. No, he's not.
Chip and Joanna used to be, but they're getting a divorce.
Now. Be nice to them. No, none of us is perfect. And a lot of us have actually been in many of the situations that our clients find themselves in. And so for us to point the finger or to shame people, there's nothing accomplished in that.
Yeah. That's not your mission.
It's not our mission.
Yeah.
And if it were, then that would just be sad, I think.
It would be.
It would be, yeah.
And there would probably be a lot of people, and I'm sure that I wish everybody were listening to Martha right now, because I think that there are probably some misinformation about the Hope Pregnancy Center and what you all are all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what you all stand for.
Yeah.
And
that's understandable. You know, not everybody has walked through our doors. Not everybody knows someone who works at the center or serves at the center. And so, I know we're making assumptions right here this morning about our friends Chip and Joanna. And we laugh
John
about
said
that.
it.
Hey, you started it. But we laugh about that. But there's truth there that we don't know what we don't know. And
exactly.
So
we don't know the whole story.
We don't. And so that same thing happens when people look at Hope Pregnancy Center, or they imagine the kinds of people that walk through our doors, and they would
and
be
what
surprised.
you all are all
yeah,
about.
Exactly. And so, but I don't want it to seem like I'm dodging your question about where the money goes. The money that we raise through this event, every expense related to the event has been underwritten by our sponsors, and so every dollar that we raise on Saturday is going directly into our general fund to provide services for the clients that we see. So that translates to pregnancy tests and ultrasound scans and, coaching sessions and mentoring and clothing and all those kinds of things. And so, we're not playing some kind of, shell game with the money. It comes in and it goes right back out to doing the ministry that we're called to do.
Yeah. Do you think that the money you raise, the significance of it, unfortunately, you do have goals financially that you have to reach to operate.
Yeah.
And as you were telling me off mic earlier that time's been tight.
It has been a tight
It has been
season.
tight.
Yeah.
It has been a tight year.
Yeah, it has. I've been at the center for 8 years, and this is the leanest year that we've had. And that's not to say that the money's not coming in, but what it is saying is that, as we have grown, our expenses have grown. Gas costs a lot, and that bus uses a lot of gas.
Big bus.
Big bus.
Big bus.
And all kinds of other things we've added to our team, and 80% of our team is engaged in direct client services, so it's serving clients, but there's still obligations to be met. And so, when you come through the summer after a challenging fundraising season in the spring, and you're kind of holding out for that walk and hoping that it goes well, we're just kind of, moving money around and trying to pay the bills as they come, and just praying that it comes. I know it will. I just don't know where.
Yeah. Well, we know that God is a great provider, and we wish you all a success with the Walk for Life. Life Worth Defending is the theme this year. 645-2273, and you can register between now and Friday. You can go online at hopepregnancy.net
and click on Get Involved. You can also just show up Saturday morning and sign up, and we'll be happy to see
Yeah,
you.
get a friend. It's going to be a beautiful day. So, what are you thinking about doing? Well, you go by McDonald's, get you a sandwich, and go on down to Liberty Park.
8:30, we'll be there.
And they'll be there.
Rain or shine. There's not going to rain, but if it did, we'll be
taking
there.
registrations. You get a T-shirt that you get to wear. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you again
I
next
look
time.
forward to it,
And we
too.
look forward to this going very well, the Walk for Life.
We do
Life worth defending, 645-2273. Martha Sitzler's, I guess. We're just ahead of Bob Kessling in the Vol Network Notebook here on the Big 1400.
The girls got plenty good loving. Ask me how I know, and I'll tell you so. She used to be my girl. I respect her. When she was mine, I used to neglect her. Oh, she wanted more than I could give. But as long as I live, she'll be my girl. She used to be my girl. She used to be my girl. She had a charming personality. The girl was so right for me. She's my girl. And if I had the chance, oh no, I'd take her back. As a matter of fact, right away, today. Not only good looking, the girl was so smart, you can't beat her cooking. Ask me how I know, and I'll tell you so. She used to be my girl. Deep down inside, I still love her. Place no one above her. She's warm and sensitive. For as long as I live, she'll be my girl. And if I had the chance, I'd take her back. Oh no, as a matter of fact, right away, my day. Ooh, yeah. Good love and ask me how I know, and I'll tell you so. She used to be my girl, my girl. She used to be my girl. She used to be my girl. I wouldn't lie about a thing like that. She used to be my girl. Well, she used to be my girl. I know you don't believe it, but she used to be my girl.
The Big 1400, WJZM Radio, 64 degrees at 7:50. We appreciate Martha Sitzler from the Hope Pregnancy Center for joining us. We're just ahead of Vol Network Notebook on the Big 1400, brought to you by Copies in a Flash on this Governor Wednesday, y'all.
Hello, governors.
That's right. During the 8 o'clock hour, Bill Persinger from Austin Peay State University will be here. We don't know who he's bringing this week.
Special guest star.
Yeah, it's always a surprise for us. But anyway, we look forward to it as we talk Austin Peay State University academic, sports, student life, special events. I'm sure that they'll probably want to talk a little bit about We Love the 90s. That's the theme for Austin Peay's homecoming this year. A lot has been written about the NFL and the kneeling and the protesters and everything. I came across something that really touched me.
Uh-oh.
George Clooney.
Oh, he's one of them left-wing nuts, isn't he?
I like like George Clooney. I like his body of work. I think he's done a wide variety of movies. I think he's grown, and I think he's developed the craft. But he really wanted us to know how he feels about the whole NFL protest thing. So he put his feelings in a poem.
Roses are red.
No,
violets are blue.
No iambic pentameter.
Trump is for me and you.
No,
is that what he wrote?
No, he didn't write that.
No?
That's not the way his poem went.
Oh.
This is his poem. I pray for my country. I pray that we can find more that unites us than divides us. I pray that our nation's leaders want to do the same. I pray that young children like Tamir Rice can feel safe in their own neighborhood. I pray for all of our children. I pray for our police and our first responders. I pray for our men and women of the armed services. I pray that dissent will always be protected in this great country. I pray for a more perfect union. And when I pray, I kneel. That's deep.
It is.
That's bigly. What do you call it?
Bigly. Yeah.
Bigly. I don't know what that means.
Bigly.
I don't know what that means, but anyway.
He's still a left wing now.
He is, probably is. Time now for the Vol Network Notebook with Bob Kessling, brought to you by Copies in a Flash on the Big 1400.
Tennessee looking for a big day from its defensive line against Georgia. This is the Vol Network Notebook, brought to you by your local Farmers Co-op. Co-op, farming Big Orange Country. Tennessee hosts 7th-ranked and undefeated Georgia Saturday at Neyland Stadium. The Bulldogs will bring one of the top rushing games in the SEC, featuring Nick Chubb and Sony Michel. Tennessee defensive tackle Khalil McKenzie said the front seven for Tennessee will be tested this week. Stopping the run and putting pressure on the quarterback will be a key to a Vol victory.
Every single week, we got to be better. Constant improvement, getting better every week. So, that's how we kind of look at it. Last week we took a couple strides forward. This week, just taking that next step, just keep putting pressure on the quarterback.
Over the past 3 games, Tennessee has faced teams that like to throw the ball. Georgia has more yards on the ground than through the air. McKenzie said the team will have to adjust to stopping the run this week.
Oh, yeah. We switched to a team that's going to want to run the football. We welcome it. It is what it is. We're just ready to get this week going, get ready for it.
Khalil McKenzie said winning at the line of scrimmage will be the key Saturday against the Bulldogs. On football Saturdays at Neyland Stadium, folks from all over the Volunteer State gather to form a community of enthusiastic Big Orange fans. Like the team on the field, they give their all to cheer on the Vols to victory. At your local farmer-owned co-op, they also know the importance of community support. It's kept them providing expert advice.
Is proud to support our community and say, go Big Orange.
The Big 1400, WJZM Radio, Clarksville area weather, mostly sunny, 87 for a high. 62 for an overnight low. Right now, 64 degrees.
Sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay, 'cause I've had nothing to live for, and look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Yes, sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. Listen, 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Now I'm just gonna sit at the dock of a bay, watching the tide
1400 WJZM Radio, 64 degrees, right at the top of the hour. We got news coming up. Okay, a new study ranked the top 10 cities to live in. If you're a big coffee drinker, John.
Yes, that would be me.
It looked at all the things like how many coffee shops there are, how much an average cup costs, and how many passionate people there are who are really crazy about their coffee.
Yes.
So, yeah. Not surprisingly, the home of Starbucks took the top spot. So Seattle,
spot.
yeah, that's Seattle. Second was
capital
Portland,
of the world.
Oregon. Number 3 was San Francisco. Number 4 was New York. Number 5 was Los Angeles. Number 6 was San Diego. Number 7 was Chicago. Number 8 was Denver. Number 9 was Boston.
And number 10 was
Number 10
Clarksville,
was
Tennessee.
No, it was Washington, D.C.
Oh.
It was Washington, D.C.
Oh.
So if you like your coffee, you know, that's where you need to go, you know. But I think you can get a good cup of Joe
think
here.
you can get some
Go
here.
down to Lassiter's and get some,
That's
you
right.
know, go buy the coffee and cheesecake and more.
That's
you know,
right.
and, yeah, get
There's
it
lots of places to get a good cup
right
of
here
coffee.
in good old Clarksville.
That's right.
US of A. The big 1400 WJZM. It is a Wednesday. Good morning, Clarksville. The big 1400 WJZM Radio, 65 degrees. We'll take an extended look at our weather forecast after this update in Clarksville's continuing news.
WJZM Radio, Clarksville, Tennessee.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. A vote by the week's end on the latest GOP health care bill is off for now. Here's correspondent Linda Kidd.
Republicans decided to pull the bill when it became clear they didn't have enough members of their own party to support it. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he expects the bill to come up again at some point. But first,
where we go from here is tax reform.
It's a process that could take some time.
We plan to move forward on our next priority, which is reforming the American tax code in a significant way for the first time in 30 years.
As for the Graham-Cassidy bill, bill to repeal and replace Obamacare with a block grant system, a group of Republicans said there were too many questions about the dollars and cents and about how many people might lose their health care coverage. Linda Kenyon, Capitol Hill.
Former Alabama Supreme Court Chief Justice Roy Moore won the state's GOP primary runoff for the U.S. Senate last night.
There's one you don't see up here. Let me just tell you, he's done more for my campaign than anybody. And that's Almighty God.
Alabama's interim U.S. Senator Luther Strange says he was honored to have served, at least briefly, in the Senate.
I worked in the North Sea as a merchant marine, and my friend Neil Elliott. We had some rough seas. We had some seas that almost turned us over. But I'm telling you, the political winds in this country right now are very hard to navigate. They're very hard to understand.
Candidate Moore defeated the appointed incumbent Senator Strange, who had the backing of President Trump and allies of Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell as well. British Prime Minister Theresa May says she welcomes Saudi Arabia's decision to allow women to drive cars. May said in a statement today that it represents what she called an important step toward gender equality, something that she insisted is not only just, but also will be good for any country's economy. On Wall Street, the Dow was down 12 points. This is SRN News.
Commercial loans, Heritage Bank. Those are the only 4 words you need to know to make your commercial project a reality. Whether it's a new building for your business or a new business altogether, the commercial lenders at Heritage Bank can make things happen so you can make your business a success. Call or stop by your local Heritage Bank office today. At Heritage Bank, we're open for business. Your business.
NMLS number 431499. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Bankwithheritage.com.
The big 1400 WJZM Radio, Clarksville area weather. One more day of this unseasonably warm weather. We expect a high today near 90, clear tonight 62. Then tomorrow the cold front comes through and we expect temperatures to moderate right around 78 or so for a high. Overnight low on Thursday 53. Then Friday a high of 76. Football Friday night, 56 for an overnight low. Maybe the upper 40s in some of the outlying areas of Clarksville. Currently, we're at 65 degrees in downtown Clarksville. With a look at Clarksville area traffic, here's John Michaels.
Good morning. Traffic around the city and the county moving pretty smoothly right at the moment. Only a couple of slow spots. 48 and 13 out by Montgomery Central still slow. Looks like Tiny Town Road slow in a couple of spots. Trenton Road slow in a couple of spots. 41A Sango is slow. Also 79 St. Bethlehem is slow. Looks like it is still slow in a couple of areas out at the MLK 76 connector if you're trying to get on the interstate. And 24 looks good all the way into Davidson County this morning. Let's check in with Commander Chuck and see what's going on with the traffic in the Nashville area.
Good morning. Looking live here at heavy traffic, trying to get up through Williamson County here on 65 northbound here at Moore's Lane up by Cool Springs Mall. It's heavy. We also would expect 40 coming in from the airport out of Wilson County this morning down through Mount Juliet. It's heavy. A crash waiting for you. Hobson Pike at Murfreesboro Pike that's made a bit of a mess. And moving that one at Rosa Parks there at 65 in Metro Center. Earn your massage diploma in 6 months. Call the Nashville School of Massage Therapy 905-4141. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
The big 1400 WJZM Radio. It is the Wednesday edition of Good Morning Clarksville. Chuck Edwards, John Michaels. I still think in another life I should earn my massage therapy certificate. Don't you think?
No.
No.
I'll pass.
shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.
The Big 1400, WJZM Radio. We're at 65 degrees at 8:09.
8:09?
Yep, 8:09.
Have you become a massage therapist?
Well, and you know, you got to have a plan.
You probably would have made more
money.
money.
You got to have a backup plan. I think my hands are too funny looking, though. You know, I don't think I have that touch. But anyway, I'm going to get in touch with Commander Chuck to try and see about it.
What, be a pilot? No. I don't know if I want you flying or massaging, huh?
Oh, either way.
Just stick with this.
8:20, we have another Sports Now update with Justin Swallows, brought to you by Mr. Appliance on the Big 1400. Right now, it is Governor Wednesday, so that means we talk Austin Peay State University academics and sports life, special events, with Bill Persinger from Austin Peay. And he brought with him Alexandra Wills. She is the director of the Center for Service, Learning and Community Engagement. Long title. Long title.
But important.
Yes, but she's going to tell us, you know, that you said, you've kind of built this program up. Well,
Right.
First of all, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Morning, Bill. Thank you for coming. Good seeing you
Glad to
again.
be here.
So, Alexandra, tell us about the Center for Service.
Sure. So the Center for Service Learning and Community Engagement at Austin Peay has been building for about 8 years, building up programs. And our main focus is connecting Austin Peay students with community needs, whether it's in Clarksville or across the country or even internationally. We want to be able to have students take the skills they're learning in the classroom and use them to make communities better. So we do that in a variety of ways. One of those is working with classes on campus. So students can take a class, and it's called a service learning class. So they'll do 12 to 15 hours of volunteer work as part of a class. And the work that they're doing is directly tied to what they're learning in the classroom. So if it's a history class, we have several groups working with Fort Defiance in Clarksville, and they are doing historical research, which they're learning how to do in the classroom, but they're actually getting to do it in real life, hands-on, with Fort Defiance in Clarksville. So that's kind of an example of like those service learning classes that we have.
So, Alexandra, when I read about students, giving up on their spring break and going to Louisiana or Memphis or someplace to help, that's you? That's part of what you do?
That's the most popular thing that we do. Students absolutely love those trips. We've been doing that for probably 8 years now. We have been all over the country. We have been in Texas. We took a group that planted 3,000 pine trees during spring break one year. We've been to the Everglades. We've been to Miami. We've been to the coast of North Carolina, where they built a reef out of oyster shells. We've been to New Jersey and New York. We did some hurricane relief work up there from Hurricane Sandy. We've been all the way to Kansas that worked on a bison ranch. We've been to Louisville. We've been to Guatemala. We've been to Peru. So we've really taken students kind of all the places in between.
How do you coordinate that?
With a lot of luck.
But
it's a little chaotic.
Okay, say you're going to send somebody to a bison ranch.
Right, yeah.
In North Dakota?
In Kansas.
In Kansas. Yeah. Hey, that's where Dorothy lives.
Yeah.
Dorothy and Toto.
We saw tumbleweeds. We were just like, what? Yeah.
What is that? So how do you coordinate something like that to go to Kansas and work on a bison? What are they doing on a bison ranch anyway?
Right, so we they're actually really scary. Bison, they're huge.
They're big buffalo.
They are.
I saw Dances with Wolves. Tatanka. I saw Dances with Wolves, so I know
You know what
they're
I'm talking
big.
about.
Yes.
Yeah. So we let students actually plan the trips. They decide like what they're passionate about and where they want to go and take other students with them. So we work with them, of course, and we worked with the Nature Conservancy of Kansas, and they said we have a need for volunteers at this ranch, Smoky Valley Ranch in Kansas. And so we put it out there for students, see who was interested, and we took a group of about 12 students out, drove like 14 hours to the far side of Kansas. And
you go with them?
A staff or faculty member, but I went to Kansas personally, yeah. And we were taking down fencing that the antelope were running into and getting their big horns stuck into. And we were putting up more environmental friendly fencing so that the bison would still be kept where they need to be, but other wildlife could continue.
So the number of students who participate in this can vary?
So it depends on how large the van we have is how many students we can take with us. So that's our big factor. But we usually take around 12 students because that's probably the most you want working on one project at a time. But depending on the season, we do about 4 different trips that are going out at once. One season. So it's fall break coming up in like 2-3 weeks here for us. We're taking 3 trips out. So we have a group going to Bowling Green, Kentucky, and they're working with the Center for Courageous Kids.
You know what they could do? They could, go over to Western and do a little damage on some of those dorms and everything. We don't want to do that, though, do we?
La, 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 la.
Okay.
We have another group going to Louisville, Kentucky, and they're working with a rescue mission there. And then another group's going to Gatlinburg to do some disaster relief from the fires that happened last spring. So.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And do you ever have to say no to some of the students because you got too many signed up for a particular...
Oh, yeah. We have, it's very popular. Lots and lots of students sign up. So we have to kind of go based off they're a senior and it's their last opportunity, or if they write a really great essay and they want to go. So
they have to write an essay to go?
Yeah, we got to figure out who really, cares and wants to go and doesn't just want a cheap trip out of Clarksville for
So this is objective. I mean, who reads the essays?
There's a group of people that read the essays.
In your office?
Yeah.
And they make the decision,
right? Yeah.
Of who goes and who stays. That's good. Alexandra Wills, she's the director for Center for Service Learning and Community Engagement. Some of them stay right around here in Clarksville. There are things to be done here in Clarksville.
We do a lot of work in Clarksville. We have connections with lots of the local nonprofits, and they post volunteer opportunities on our website so students can peruse and see what opportunities are available. We send students regularly to the Habitat Restore, work with Loaves and Fishes, and Manna Cafe, and the Salvation Army on a weekly basis.
So what is the benefit of this?
There's lots of benefits. So there's a benefit for the community.
Just list some of them.
So there's a benefit for the community to have a really passionate group in a certain age range who are trying to figure out their place in life and figure out what's a priority and what's important for them. So it's always great for communities to have college students finding their niche within some of these issues and figuring out how they can make a difference. And it also kind of gives them some roots to the community, so maybe they'll stay and they'll put some of their time into some of these community agencies and figuring out what the problems are and ways that they can make a difference. It's also great for the students themselves, taking a broader view of the world beyond just what their day-to-day life is. Reality, yes.
Yeah, I think, Alexandra, and I'm talking about traditional students, you're talking about kids 18 to 20, okay? And they're trying to find their way, and outside of academia, there is a world of learning to be had in putting your hands on it, getting dirty, and getting down in the valley and working on a bison ranch or working, at one of the nonprofits that Loaves and Fishes or going down to disaster. Are you sending people down to Florida?
We're sending people we had planned to send some folks down to like the Florida-Georgia line area, and they said we are not ready yet for volunteers. So we're sending a group down in January to go down to Florida, and then a group we're sending to Texas in spring break.
Yeah. Nobody going to Puerto Rico yet?
So, not yet. We actually have.
Really?
I know.
And they definitely aren't ready yet.
Right. Yeah. We have actually a committee of folks on campus that get together to respond to natural disasters and how we as a university are going to respond to that. So we actually have a meeting tomorrow. We're talking about how we're going to respond to Puerto Rico now that the university sent a U-Haul down to Texas, to Houston, full of donated waters, cleaning supplies, toiletries, things like that. And then 6 days later, we took another huge van down to Florida full of similar supplies. So the response with Puerto Rico is going to be a little different since we can't drive a U-Haul to Puerto Rico. Working with some agencies that are is going to be sending boats over as well.
Do organizations, individuals get in touch with you soliciting your, hey, I heard you had some volunteers that might want to come down and we need this or that?
Absolutely. We get phone calls locally all the time needing volunteers, which our students are happy to jump in and help. But we also get phone calls from nonprofits that we've worked with in the past through alternative break trips. So we'll get a phone call from, like Hattiesburg saying, hey, you guys came down and helped 3 years ago. We could use you guys back again.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they remember Austin Peay very fondly and that we have really hardworking students.
And I think that I had forgotten about how this is a great way to get the name out, Austin Peay. And to show they're the face of Austin Peay, helping out and in different places a long way away from Clarksville, Tennessee. Right. So it helps. Alexandra Wills is our guest. She's here with Bill Persinger. It is a Governor Wednesday on the Big 1400. We need to take a break. It's time now for a Sports Now update with Justin Swallows, brought to you by Mr. Appliance on the Big 1400.
This Sports Now update is presented by Mr. Appliance. Get it fixed fast with a quick call to Mr. Appliance at 931-503-7070.
Vanderbilt head football coach Derek Mason is determined to use the Commodores' latest 59-0 loss to #1 Alabama as a wake-up call for his team. Mason held a rare full-contact practice on Monday, and when asked why yesterday, he explained that his team, especially the offensive line, is at this point too soft. Mason blames Vandy's recent run game struggles specifically on that offensive front. Was Vanderbilt's 3-0 start a product of weak scheduling? We'll find out this coming Saturday as the Doors travel to Gainesville to take on the 20th-ranked Florida Gators. Now over to Austin Peay State University, where coming off a 2-0 start in Ohio Valley Conference play, their women's soccer program has added reason to celebrate today. Yesterday afternoon, Governor Soccer's senior forward Kristen Robertson was honored as part of the league's Player of the Week package. The Ashland City native was named the OVC's Offensive Player of the Week after a game-winning goal versus SIUE and an insurance score against Eastern Illinois this past weekend. This coming weekend, the Govs will be on the road to continue conference play Friday at Jacksonville State and Sunday afternoon at Tennessee Tech. Lastly, today we will take you to Knoxville as the UT football program has announced their uniform of choice for this weekend's battle against the Georgia Bulldogs. The Vols will don their alternate smoky gray uniforms on Saturday, in addition to encouraging fans to wear either orange or white in an effort to checker Neyland Stadium. Tennessee won their last home game against Georgia wearing that smoky gray, and they were 2-0 in it last season, besting Florida at home and taking down Nebraska in the Music City Bowl. From the WJZM Sports Desk, this is Sports Now, and I'm Justin Swallows.
Don't despair over that busted stove, broken dishwasher, or out-of-order dryer. Just pick up the phone and call Mr. Appliance. He offers flat rate pricing, meaning there aren't any hidden fees, and he promises an always quick response with same or next day appointments. Mr. Appliance also gives you a complimentary 1-year parts and labor warranty on every household repair. You can book an appointment anytime by calling 931-503-7070 or by going online to MrAppliance.com/Clarksville.
The Big 1400 WJZM Radio Sports Now update comes your way at 9:20 this morning on the Big 1400, brought to you by Culver's of Clarksville. This is a Governor Wednesday, and we're talking with Bill Persinger and Alexandra Wills. She's the director for Center for Service and Learning and Community Engagement, and expert chicken farmer, and I don't know, she operates a food bank. I didn't know Austin Peay had a food bank.
We do. It's a pretty impressive food pantry, if I do say so myself. We started 6 years ago. We were the first food pantry on a college campus in the state of Tennessee.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The first?
The first.
The first. Well, was there, did you recognize that there was a need for something like that?
It was actually graduate students at Austin Peay who recognized the need, and they brought it to like the administration's attention, and we said, absolutely, let's make this happen.
Okay.
So we started really small in a office supply closet in the University Center, and we just continued to grow from there. Started off with just non-perishable food,
canned
items and things like
spaghetti,
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
pasta and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. And we started off, and the word really spread, and so our housing office on campus is very supportive, and they gave us let us use a one-bedroom apartment in Emerald Hills for a couple years to expand the space we had. So then we started taking clothing and school supplies and books and toys and kitchen appliances and things like that, and so that students could come in and grab things when they needed them.
Somebody has to sort that.
Yes, it takes a lot of volunteers to keep that pantry running. So we were there for a couple years, and then we had some student interns who always have really great ideas, big ideas. And so one of them was a nutrition student, and she said, all this canned food and the ramen, this really isn't good for people to be eating just this all the time.
I told you you shouldn't eat that ramen.
Here we go.
So
a ramen hater.
You can. Ramen's not bad, but just not so much seasoning and maybe not all the time that just eat ramen. So they suggested fresh fruits and vegetables. So we started a community garden program. We have 26 garden beds on campus now, and we grow vegetables year-round. We have 12 fruit trees that we have acquired. So we are just constantly harvesting, and volunteers are keeping the gardens going.
Fruit trees.
Fruit trees.
Now,
nothing will break your heart like a fruit tree. Nothing.
Really?
They're so sensitive.
Yes, you have to be very careful with the pear tree and So now, who? This is available to the students?
Right. This is for students and their families. So whoever they deem is their family. So some of them may be supporting their parents or their kids or their siblings or their grandparents are living with them. We take care of whoever is in the house with them.
Okay, so I come over to the food pantry. What could I leave with?
So if you came into the food pantry right now, we ask how many people are in your family, and we feed them for 3 days. So you get a card, and it says, oh, you have this many people in your family. You can we recommend you grab this much of these items. So we've got rices and pasta and canned meat. And there's no ramen in there right now.
Spam?
Spam's in there.
Yeah. Spam.
Tuna, soups, canned vegetables, but you could also, you'll definitely walk away with at least 6 fresh eggs from our 12 chickens that we have supporting our pantry that are at our office.
Now you have student volunteers, interns that take care of all of this?
Yes, it's a large number of students. This pantry is run by student volunteers. So, because I am not myself going to be running this pantry. This is a campus project. So if the campus supports it, the students keep it running, it'll be here forever. So it's definitely a campus project that we have.
I was thinking, Bill, that when Alexandria was talking about the food pantry and the chickens and the vegetables and growing the fruit trees, that a lot of the students, a number of students, come from rural areas. And so they're very familiar with taking care of chickens and and gardening, and so that would be an asset.
Yes.
That's amazing. This food pantry, this food bank, and it's open all year round.
We're open whenever school is in session, and we're open Tuesday through Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have toys?
We've got toys for kids. All of the stuff is donated from faculty, staff, and students. So if people donate toys, we have students who have children. They'll come in and grab some toys while their parents are getting some food in the pantry.
You got any Legos?
I don't know if we've got Legos in there right now.
Oh, okay.
I have children, and I've stepped on my fair share of Legos, so I try and keep those away from me.
I know. You have to watch the Legos. And when you drop them, whenever I'm doing a Lego kit, my wife makes sure I have a table, a special Lego table. We call it the Lego table, and we put a cloth over it. And that cloth is a bright color because we want the Legos to stand out. And so if I drop one on the floor, they don't come walking through there and step on it.
Right.
Because that hurts.
It does hurt really bad.
They can be very... that's interesting about the food bank. Do you all take stuff like that to some of the areas where you go? Have you ever been to Appalachia?
We have worked there before. We usually don't bring physical items with us, but we'll the students will maybe fundraise before they go, and we'll bring a financial donation to support with.
Alexandra Will, she's director of Center for Service and Learning and Community Engagement. I'm just overwhelmed by all of that. Family Weekend is this weekend.
It is Family Weekend.
That means
we got
Family and Friends Day. It's like, is it like Family and Friends Day or something?
It's the students' families are invited back to campus to see, now, like they dropped them off at the beginning of the school year for move-in, and now things are in full swing.
They've been in school a month, almost a month, and And so now
it's time to do the laundry. And do the Walmart run and whatnot. So,
and here's the list of stuff what we need at Walmart.
Right.
So anyway, so that takes place, Friday and Saturday?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes. Oh, okay. And then so it rolls right in with the weekend and the football game. We'll be taking on UT Martin. Our ranked opponent comes to Forterra Stadium.
Ready to win 3 in a row here. You know, the last time we won 3 in a row was 1986.
Wow.
So we're due. We have a mission here.
We're due.
Mission possible.
Yeah, well, mission, and I think that Coach Healy, and I know you've been part of it, Bill, but there has to be a rebuilding of the culture at Austin Peay State University. And that rebuilding of the culture involves that we can win.
Yes.
And the W's are in our future, and they're here for our taking.
We have to know what it feels like, and now we're there. We've won a couple, and so I think next week Martin is a tough team from what I hear. I talked to Ryan Ivey while we were at the Murray game Saturday, and Ryan says they're a top ranked team. So the Govs have their work cut out for them, but I definitely am confident that they can win this game, and if they win this one, and also if we can beat Samford, those are, I'd say, the 2 toughest teams from what I understand in our conference. So if we can do that, we've got a good chance of going all the way with it. Which
wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be just a phenomenal year.
I mean, if we were to just not only we've already gotten the monkey off our back, by winning. And then if we were to go on and win the OVC conference,
It sounds like a movie.
It sounds like a movie to me. I'd be saying, okay, Jesus, come on back. I know it's time. It's time. We would do that. So we need to take a break. This is the Big 1400 WJZM Radio. It is a Governor Wednesday. We're talking with Alexandra Wills, who is the director for Center for Service, Learning and Community Engagement. And Bill Persinger is here from the marketing department at Austin Peay State University. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Made to order, never frozen Midwest beef served on a toasted buttery bun is just the beginning at Culver's of Clarksville. The experience crescendos into fresh homemade custard that you can customize into delectable treats like sundaes, banana splits, or one of their signature concrete mixers. You'll be treated like family and fed like royalty at Culver's of Clarksville, near Exit 4 just off Wilma Rudolph Boulevard at 140 Southampton Place. Culver's of Clarksville. Welcome to Delicious.
What if you suddenly found yourself unable to pay your electric bill? Fortunately, help is available. It's called Project Help. By adding an extra $1 to your monthly electric bill, Project Help makes it possible for many in this community to keep the lights and heat on during the cold winter months. Project Help donations are distributed by agencies in this community which treat all applicants with fairness and compassion. This message brought to you by CEMC, Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation, a proud sponsor of Project Help.
Why settle for less when you can get more at Wyatt Johnson in Clarksville, your winning team in Kentucky and Tennessee. Score and win with Wyatt Johnson GMC Buick, Toyota, Hyundai, Mazda, and Subaru, as well as 3 pre-owned superstores for more selection in minutes versus days, shopping place to place. We are the region's largest GMC Buick dealer, the area's newest Toyota dealer, and home of the Hyundai, Mazda, and Subaru Giant. You always get more at your winning team in Kentucky and Tennessee. The Wyatt Johnson Automotive Family in Clarksville.
The Big 1400 is WJZM, Clarksville, Fort Campbell, Hopkinsville.
Was your New Year's resolution to lose weight, but you haven't been able to accomplish this? Then come to the Doctor's Diet Program at 231 Dover Road. They're open Tuesdays and Saturdays from 11:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Doctor's supervised weight loss can be achieved by following the simple diet plan. Whether you want to lose 10 pounds or 100 pounds, the Doctor's Diet Program can help. Call them today at 931-906-5555. That's 931-906-5555.
Moore's Office Supply is Clarksville's office supply and furniture experts. For office equipment, desks, chairs, and more, depend on Moore's Office Supply. Located on Franklin Street across from the Catholic Church, Moore's has been your business partner for office supplies in the Clarksville, Fort Campbell area for years. Call Moore's at 645-7200. That's 645-7200. And we'll deliver it for free. Moore's Office Supplies, Clarksville's office supply headquarters.
In your time of loss, you need to know someone cares. Since 1916, Neil Tarpley Parchman Funeral Home has been serving the Clarksville area with the kindness and respect you deserve. It's their goal to provide quality, compassionate services to you and your family during this very difficult time. Mike Parchman and his staff genuinely care and provide prearranged plans that accept insurance to help ease your pain in your time of grief. Neil Tarpley Parchman Funeral Home. People who care. A name you can trust. Neil Tarpley Parchman Funeral Home. Madison Street in Clarksville.
We've got you covered every step of the way. That's what they do at Clarksville Floor Covering. Carpet, hardwood, tile, laminate, vinyl, and area rugs are what they specialize in. Visit Clarksville Floor Covering and let their on-staff interior designer put it all together to give you the look you want. Locally owned and operated since 1961, Clarksville Floor Covering is conveniently located at 606 North Spring Street, behind Sonic off Riverside Drive. Visit their website at clarksvillefloor-covering.com and be sure to check them out on Facebook.
The Big 1400, WJZM Radio. Chuck and John and Bill and Alexandra from Austin Peay State University. After all, it's Governor Wednesday, and we're talking with Alexandra. She's the director of the Center for Service Learning and Community Engagement. We were talking, it was pretty interesting. You were talking about how you broadened your culinary palate with some of the food you've eaten on some of these trips that you didn't think about eating, that you probably won't prepare at home for your 2 kids and husband, right?
Right, absolutely.
But,
yeah.
the lentils and, we were talking about chili. Of course, chili, a variation on chili. What do we have for dinner tonight? Well, a variation on chili. I did not know that you all had to prepare your own meals.
Right. So we try and keep our trips as affordable as possible for students. So when we go on the trips, each student's got a night they're responsible for cooking for at least 12 people. So they have to come up with a recipe, get us all the ingredients, and then they cook it for the group. Mm-hmm. So we've had some trips where they've all had to cook over campfire or a camp stove, and so that's really interesting. It's a lot of hot dogs sometimes. But we've
nothing wrong with potassium.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So we've had some interesting meals, but one thing we found is students don't know necessarily, they've never had to cook because they'll go to the residence hall or places on campus to eat. So we actually provide cooking classes as part of our food pantry. Before, to show students how to cook with fresh vegetables, because we'll give them here's some fresh peas we just harvested, and they go, do you have any in a can? Because I don't know what to do with fresh peas. So
no, they say, do you have a microwave?
Right. Can I steam these?
Yeah, do that. That's interesting, and I keep thinking about how the students get a chance to exercise their perspective on the world in going and doing these things, helping other people, and seeing. Because it's not that they come from a privileged life, but they're in a life that where like you said, the meals are prepared for them. They go down to the cafeteria, a student center, and they go drive through McDonald's. But when they start going into a lot of these areas, and they see some of these depressed areas and distressed areas of people, that is a tremendous learning experience, something that they could not get in the classroom, no matter how many books they read,
right?
No matter how many, they have reenactments they have on campus. Doing it is different.
Absolutely. That hands-on experience really stays with them. And we have these students, they'll do it once and they want to come back and they want to do the trips again. They want to lead the trips. So if you've been on a trip, you can be a trip leader, and then you get to choose where that trip goes, what the work that they'll be doing is.
So do you give them information about where these some potential places to go?
Right, yeah, we definitely help them along the way and support them and make sure all the logistics are all taken care of so that it's a positive experience for everybody that goes.
Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
It's been cool. Homecoming.
October
we love
21st.
the 90s.
Yes.
We love the 90s is the theme this year. And are you going to have to dress up? And, you know, what did people wear in the 90s? They didn't wear bell bottoms.
We wore flannel.
Did they wear the stuff like
choker
MC?
necklaces?
Yeah.
Choker necklaces?
Yeah.
A little bit of that, what was it, the grunge look?
A little bit of the grunge in the early
grunge.
90s, the Seattle look.
I thought they had that, did they dress up like MC Hammer in them balloon pants?
That was the
really
80s.
Oh, that was the 80s?
Really early.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe early 90s. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering how they dressed. But maybe, the grunge look.
Lots of like hair accessories was very big in the 90s.
When did they start dyeing it green? That was probably in 2005, wasn't it?
Probably early 2000s,
Yeah, they start dyeing their hair green and stuff. And now, whatever. But anyway, we love the 90s. Homecoming at Austin Peay State University. They got a whole week. October, what is it? 20th and 21st?
Yeah, well, it starts the week that week. So the 17th, we start having events for students and things like that. But the main events for the public, for your listeners out there, it would be the 20th and 21st. So Friday and Saturday.
They've got the golf tournament, 39th annual homecoming golf tournament at Swan Lake Course. You can call 221-7979 for more information. Then they've got the military alumni chapter dinner and scholarship. They got a 50-year reunion breakfast, class of 1967.
That's right.
That's going back a ways.
That's
that's
back
close
in the
to
day.
that's close to me with bell bottoms and tie-dyed shirts. If we could go, John.
We could.
Well, I could. I'd fit right in. And then, of course, the homecoming parade on the 21st. That starts at 10 o'clock. The game, homecoming game, is versus SEMO.
SEMO, yep.
Yeah. 221-7761. They've got an alumni hospitality tent. They've got a great week planned for homecoming. 2017. We love the 90s. Homecoming 2017, Austin Peay State University. Ought to be a lot of fun. A lot of people back in town. I know they have a lot of different events that are planned, so you can find out about it. Can you go online and find out?
Yeah, absolutely. Go to apsu.edu/alumni and just click on the homecoming link.
Yeah, that'll do it. Appreciate it, Bill.
Thank you.
Good seeing you. Governor Wednesday here on the Big 1400. Thanks, Alexandria. You have to come back after one of your trips.
I'll bring the chicken. Or not.
Chicken.
Look on your face.
Bring us some. We want when the fruit gonna come in bloom.
Right.
What kind of fruit trees do you have?
We have apple trees. We have pear trees. We have plum trees. We have blueberry bushes, raspberry bushes.
We want fresh fruit. Be fun. Yeah, when they come into bloom.
What do you want, a fruit basket?
Yeah. So
I can bring you some eggplants and okra and beans and tomatoes right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We like vegetables. We do. So do you have somebody that knows all about the fruit trees and helps you with that?
Yeah, we work with our Wes Powell and our landscaping department at Austin Peay is a big helper with a lot of that. But our staff, we're all gardeners, so we kind of know what we're doing.
It's an acquired thing. You know that, don't you? And you don't have these innate abilities, green thumbs. Don't believe that. That's only on page 12 of the Perfect World book. But,
I tell you what, my 4-year-old son, he has a green thumb.
He does?
He takes a seed packet and just tosses it, and everything comes up.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. It's impressive. Only I could control it and...
Yeah, and channel it. And he's 4.
Right. Just imagine
Wait till
what could
he's
happen.
6.
I know.
You'll be able to do it. Thanks, Alexandria.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill. Good. Governor Wednesday here on the Big 1400 WJZM Radio. 1400 WJZM Radio, 71 degrees. Expect a high today of around 87. Down tonight to around 62 degrees. And tomorrow, that cold front comes through and temperatures moderate at closer to where they should normally be. We expect a high tomorrow around 80. Overnight low around 53. Join us for vol calls each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Bob Kessling tonight at 7 o'clock will be on the Big 1400. And, of course, they'll be talking with Butch Jones and some of the other coaches that are talking volunteer football right here on vol calls on the Big 1400. So, are you ready for yes or BS?
Huh?
Yes.
What?
It's time, my brother, for yes or BS.
Well, that's BS.
I give you a statement. No. I give you a statement, and you decide yes if it's true, Chip and Joanna, or
yes,
or no, it's total BS.
Yes.
The new Flatliners movie, reboot, hits the theaters this Friday. So unless you're in your early 20s, you probably know it's a remake of the Flatliners. Remember that one that came out in 1980? The Flatliners movie about the kids who decided they wanted to do the medical experiment and die and then bring them back. You don't remember?
I think I do.
Anyway, but the topic...
That's what it's going to be about.
The topic of yes or BS today is movies.
I'll fake it.
Okay? You ready?
Yes, I am ready, sir.
True Lies. You remember the movie True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh.
Buddy. True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Woo! And Jamie Lee Curtis was a remake. Yes or BS?
BS.
It was a remake of a French film called Le Total that came out in 1991. They started the Hollywood version almost immediately, and it came out in 1993. The first Godfather. So the first Godfather movie with Al Pacino and Marlon Brando was a remake. Yes or BS?
BS.
Good. Correct. It was based on the novel, which came out in 1969. The movie came out in 1972. Pacino's Scarface was a remake, though. Yes. And so was Scent of a Woman. See, I didn't know that. Scarface. Say hello to my little friend.
Yes.
I didn't know that was a remake.
It was.
The Wizard of Oz with Judy Garland was a remake.
BS.
Yes.
It was?
The
Wizard
had to be
of Oz in the silent era.
Yes. The Wizard of Oz with Judy Garland was a remake. There were somewhere around 10 movie versions before the famous one hit the theaters in 1939. Yep. 10. Yep.
How did they have a silent version of Wizard of Oz?
They put the captioning up on.
Yeah, but when they're singing or.
I don't know. They just said, you know. Okay. You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan was a remake.
I have no idea. I'm going to say
yes or BS?
Yes.
Very good. It was. It was based on a movie from 1940.
Probably a French movie.
No French movie. It was The Shop Around the Corner. Obviously, they updated it and changed the angle. They made it an internet from an internet angle. Okay. Yes or BS? Meet the Parents with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro was a remake.
Oh,
yes or BS?
BS.
The original Meet the Parents was an independent film that came out in 1992. It didn't do well at the box office, so Universal bought the rights and remade it in less than 10 years later. So there you have yes or BS.
I thought this was supposed to be about.
And I'm sorry.
Flatliners.
No, Flatliners was just an example. We're talking about movie reboots. We're talking about movie. You don't remember the Flatliners movie?
Barely. Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
Not really.
The Big 1400, WJZM, Chuck and John on a Wednesday. Hope your day is going well. Good morning, Clarksville.
She's got my nose. Whoa, and I get high. Just watching her grow. just holding you tight. We always dreamed we'd make a lot of money, oh, but I don't mind being poor. 'Cause when you make love to me, honey, I couldn't ask for any more. You know, all our friends seem to be in a hurry, but darling, we'll just keep on taking our time. We live in such a sweet life, oh, what a neat life, sharing my love with you. Always we live such a sweet life, oh, what a neat life, making our dreams come true. We're making our dreams come true. We live in such a sweet life, oh, what a neat life, sharing my love with you. Will you make it my dream? Live in such a sweet life, oh, what a neat life, making our dreams come true. We live in such a sweet life, oh, what a neat life, sharing my love with you.
The Big 1400 WJZM Radio. We're at 72 degrees here, just ahead of 9 o'clock. So, our good news for today. First of all, I want to thank Alexandra Wills and Bill Persinger from Austin Peay State University for joining us.
coming over.
You know, we we didn't know anything about the Center for Service, Learning, and Community Engagement, all the neat things that they do, but we appreciate that.
Sounds like it's very important and very needed.
And it is.
And it helps
Yes,
people
it
all at the
does.
same time.
Yes. So, the good news for this Wednesday, a couple named Clayton and Brittany Cook got married in Ontario, Canada last Friday. I saw a picture of this. I saw the video
You did?
of this. Yeah.
See, I haven't even seen
And
it.
anyway, then after the ceremony, they went to a park to take some wedding photos next to a river. And while they were there, Clayton saw a little kid fall into the water and go under. Brittany was doing some solo shots with a wedding photographer. And by the time she looked over, Clayton had already jumped in his suit, in the water to save the kid. He pulled him out of the river, and now one of the shots their photographer got is blowing up on Facebook. The kid had looked like he's about 4 or 5. Apparently, his friends pushed him in. Brittany says she was confused at first and didn't know why Clayton would have jumped in the water in his suit. But he's a great guy, so when she found out why he did it, she wasn't surprised. So I saw that. Neat
I did
picture.
not see that.
Yeah, it was a neat picture of the young
Two
man.
people get married and Chip and Joanna get divorced, and so we just kind of equal it out there. We have a good story with getting married, and Chip and Joanna, well, they're getting a divorce. Probably be on Judge Judy next year.
Get out of here.
Oh, the Big 1400, WJZM Radio. Thank you very much for sharing this part of your Wednesday with us here on Good Morning Clarksville. John and I hope we'll see you tomorrow. Be well, my friend. Bye-bye.
Wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when
else instead of me always seems to know the way. Then I look at you, and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's all right with me. I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school?